Hello everybody, welcome to Ruvigal in Conversation. I'm delighted to welcome you all today. My guest today is Andrea Harari, who is the co-owner of London gallery Jaggedart. Andrea, welcome.
Thank you for inviting me. The gallery space is quite small. It's a space that it's quite intimate, so people can imagine how the works will look in their houses. We love things that are very intricate, artists cutting paper, folding, embroidering, and there is a serenity about all the works that we show. Kazuhito Takadoi, I saw his work at the Daiwa Foundation here in London, and I was, loved them, fell in love with them immediately. He grows grass in his back garden, and he waits until it's tender enough to use it to manipulate it and to embroider works. He uses red grass, green grass. The green grass will eventually fade. Those works, all of his works are about time, for the grass to grow, for him to make the work, and then how they eventually, change with time and they evolve. He's the hawthorn, he doesn't grow himself. He harvests them and then he cleans them, dethorns them, and then leaves them to dry for a year. And then after that, he makes these incredible, fabulous sculptures that they are all with hawthorn twigs and linen twine, all patiently tied one by one together. And they are big organic shapes that have these project these incredible shadows, and they're very resilient and they're very beautiful. Patricia Swannell, she does paintings, drawings, and prints, and her drawings are of trees. And she starts by drawing with graphite, and she starts by drawing the seed of the tree, and then she writes around very patiently again the English name, the Latin name, the location, and that is repeated over and over again. And to the size, the real size of the tree trunk at chest height. So right. It's a way of recording time, if you want. And she makes these, she's mainly more renowned for her butterfly boxes. So she always relates the material to the butterfly. And then she makes these beautiful drawings and collages using packaging that she finds on the streets. And she read someplace that people can recognize more than 1,000 brands. But if you ask them names of plants, they cannot name more than 10. So she started a series of 9 wild plants that grow on the streets of London using packaging found on the streets of London. So it's her work I also love. It's made from old books and maps and different material that she finds.
So I often use dictionaries and sort of heavy, weighty tomes filled with supposed cultural knowledge and subvert them in some way. It's made from 3 books: the Bible, the Quran, and the Torah. Pages that are cut into the same square, and then that square is folded into one of those little, we call them here chatterboxes or fortune tellers. And then by simply slotting one on top of the other, you get to make a sort of fabric. This one was called The Craft of Writing.
The Craft of Writing.
Yes. And it came from a poem, an epic poem by William Morris. And when I first looked at it, I was quite struck by the Victorian, like the sort of old-fashioned, dense language that he was using. The story is embroidered and embellished, this poem, in the true sense of the word.
Jeremy makes paper jewelry from the pages of books. I'm very privileged I'm wearing one of his rings today. It's called Dark Flower.
My process is that I read the book first, and then I respond to my thoughts by producing a sketch, which I then translate into a design, and then using a scalpel, I then start cutting the pages of the book, one page at a time, and then laminate it and then sculpt it. And people just aren't reading. I mean, they are reading, but they're not using books as much as they used to. It's more electronic. So I see my work as sort of preserving the book, and people are now cherishing the book as they once did.
All of the artists that I talk to are, at home making works and trying to take stock and see, what is this madness. And I think we'll see probably in the future, in a few months' time, what they're making and how this, strange nightmare that we're going through is going to be, translated into the works.
Thank you so very much to all of you. Thank you, Andrea. It was a real pleasure, and thank you for sharing your love of all the artists with us. Thank you, Thurle and Jeremy. Really a treat to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.